All right, so we're here with Jim Campbell. Save time. You're a busy man, as everybody likes to think. You don't just have 1 or 2 horses that just show up in the Oaks or the Hambletonian. You actually have a barn full. So we gotta save your time. We gotta save my time. So we're jogging Fashion Schooner. You got Miss Walner Fashion ahead of you. And who's the camera horse that we got?
That's a 2-year-old filly. She's making her first start at Chester tomorrow. Her name's Lion Weight.
So she's making her first start?
First start tomorrow at Chester. She's owned by Run the Table Stable.
Okay. Question: Is she Hambletonian Oaks eligible?
She will be.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yes.
Yes.
So we got to keep her in the pipeline.
We're just prepping her for next year.
Yeah. We're prepping her for next year. Draw day today. I don't know who entered, who did not. This is not a spoiler because this will be out later. Who did you enter in the Oaks and the Hambletonian today?
We entered Fashion Schooner and Miss Walner Fashion in the Oaks.
Boo!
And we entered Cool Papa Bell in the Hambletonian.
Go for it. Why not?
Well, he's earned it. He's
No, I mean the girls. Enter both girls. They're both pretty good. I want 10 fillies in the Hambletonian one day. One day, you think? No?
Well, where are the colts supposed to race?
They're not good enough. Be better. That's what I say, right? It seems like every 3rd or so year we get a really bunch of group, like 3, 4, 5 fillies that are really, really good, and they enter. You know, it's like gamesmanship. You're going in the Oaks, I'm going in the Hambo. You're pretty happy to enter both your fashion fillies in the Oaks. So I mean, is it sad when your filly companions enter in the Hambletonian, or you want to beat the best horses in the Oaks, or you don't care?
Well, I think the Oaks, you know, there's a strong group of trotting fillies with or without joviality in there. There's probably 5 or 6 of them that if they get the right trip could go out and win the Hambletonian Oaks. So the competition's tough no matter where you go. You know, for us it just makes sense to race them with the fillies.
With all these young guys popping up, all these young trainers, we got Marcus, we got Lucas, we got Nancy. You're the elder statesman of this crew. Do you gotta every once in a while remind everybody, like, guys, I'm pretty good. I won this race a bunch of times. I'm like, I still got one of the best horses here. Don't forget about me.
Well, the best way to remind anybody of where you've been or where you want to go is by your record. And the easiest way to do that is hope that you get a good horse.
Just hope that and Fashion Farms has been churning out a bunch of good horses, so you got to be happy with that, and we continue in the pipeline, right?
Yeah, the homebreds have really, you know, they've been really good over the years, and you know, it's you know, it started with a lot of the ones that we bought years ago, and then they, you know, we've raced them, and then Jules has bred them, and you know, we've got generations after generations, which, you know,
certainly helps.
It certainly helps. And you know, with Fashion Schooner, Broadway Schooner, she's thrown so many good ones and was good herself too. So there's a lot of good homebreds at Fashion Farms, and you know, we're seeing it year after year. There's always something that comes out of there.
Always something. Now let's talk about the 2 individual fillies there. Fashion Schooner, she won the Del Miller. Pretty impressive. Her strong suit, would you say, is when she's on the lead and can kind of defend?
She can do it either way.
Okay.
You know, we gave her 5 weeks off after the Sire Stake final, which that was all by design, just to prep her, to get her ready for the Oaks. And so you know, she'd raced 2 weeks before in the Reynolds, so when it came time last start for the Del Miller, you know, she needed, with the way we were racing her, she needed a good race. Tim thought, you know, the way the race shaped up, she was going to be probably better right up near the front end, so that's where he put her, and she raced good that way. But she can come from behind. She can race any way that he wants her to race.
Okay, that was going to be my next question is, do you find it tough sometimes when a horse does something extremely well, whether it's, you know, okay, let's look at a King of the North or some, you know, Green Shoe, some of these horses that have had pretty much excelled in one thing, King of the North, racing from behind. Then every once in a while you got to train him to do something else. Where do you find that balance of, man, this horse is really good, I want to keep him at it, or he's got to be able to be multi-functional and be prepared in any situation?
Well, I think most of these horses today, they're so athletic, you know, they get raced based on how the drivers think the race is going to set up. And it seems lately that if you're not up near the front end, you can't win. If you're too far back, because the front end's going to come home in 26. So if you're too far back,
25 now, or 24.
Well, I'm talking trotters. Yeah, I'm
even
talking,
then 25 for this.
I'm talking the trotters. They're pretty much going to come home 26 on the front end, regardless of fractions. So if you're too far back, then you do have to come 25 or 24, which there's not many of them that can do that. But you know, like, I think these horses, in most part, they can race either way. It's just the way the driver thinks the race is going to set up, and they're going to want to position them the best that they think at the time, which, you know, Tim and I talk about it a lot of different times before a race, you know, which I never tell him how to drive a horse, because he makes his mind up last split-second decisions. And you know, I just tell him what kind of week the horse had, and then, you know, he figures it out from there.
That's his job, right?
Well, it is, because there's been numerous times where he's gotten off the bike and said, you know, I thought this was going to happen, it didn't. And you know, whatever a lot of times I think it's a bad decision to make your mind up before a race starts what you're going to do, because you gotta be able to adjust your decision on the move, and for them it's split-second decisions.
Right, and be versatile. What about Miss Walner Fashion? She's been pretty good too. What would you say? Same deal, like her strengths are, is your barn strength that your horses are as versatile as, you know, or maybe more than most?
I think she's similar way of Fashion Schooner, like they're different fillies. Fashion Schooner has more raw speed to her than Miss Walner Fashion. Miss Walner Fashion, she can grind it out. She's done it both ways. She's done it front end, she's done it first over, and she's done it coming off a cover. So she's pretty versatile. She can race anyway. If
you want to be as good of a trainer as we all think you are, you have to teach these fillies the dead heat. You have to, like only the supreme trainer, all you guys, you know, Tactor couldn't do it, all these top trainers, they want to call themselves best trainers. That's what I say you got to do. Train these fillies to dead heat.
To dead heat?
To dead heat, yes.
Well, you should specify dead heat to win.
Dead heat, oh, God, yeah, right, yeah, right, that's key there. Dead heat to win the Oaks. That would be fantastic. Anything as far as we approach these 2 weeks? Like I said, you've been here plenty of times, you kind of know what it's about. You get, I don't want to say excited anymore, but is it when do you have the excitement of the race? Because I do see you in the paddock sometimes when you win any race, you got a little giddy up in your step heading to the winner's circle and stuff like that. And I don't see that too often with too many trainers, so it's nice to see. So do you feel the excitement of Hambletonian Week?
Absolutely. You know, if you don't feel it, then you're wasting your time being in here. This is what we live for. You know, to me, the best races to race in are the Hambletonian Oaks, and any Breeders' Crown, because those are our best races, our top races, and you know, that's what we do this for. That's why we freeze our butts off in the wintertime out here training them, to hopefully we find one that's good enough to compete in some of the top races. And for me, that's what it's all about. You know, anything else, you know, you got to go through a lot of different things to get there, and hopefully you find the right horse to get you there. But you know, yes, the excitement builds up. To me, the eliminations get my heart pounding more than a final does, because you got to get there, you know. And then once you get them there, you know, then you got that week of, you know, you're hoping everything goes smooth. It doesn't always go smooth, but at least you know you're gonna race in the final. So to me, the eliminations are more nerve-wracking than the final is, because you got to make sure everything goes right so you get that chance to race in the final.
Yeah, you're one of the I mean, who knows when the history books are all done and written, but you're one of the few trainers that's won a Hambletonian, a Hambletonian Oaks, Hambletonian Maturity, and a Breeders' Crown. There's like 3, I think, or 4. So when I tell you that, were you aware of that, or you won so many races you kind of forget all the races I've won? You forget that.
Well, I haven't won so many races that I forgot, but I never really looked at it the way you just pointed it out. And you know, that's
pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it is pretty cool, and it falls under the category. I left out the Hambletonian Maturity before as one of the major races, which it is the major race for 4-year-old trotters.
Yep.
There's no bigger race other than the Breeders' Crown for 4-year-old trotters, which when they race in the Breeders' Crown, they have to race against all aged. So yeah, you know, when you put it that way, it's very satisfying, and feel very blessed to be able to be associated with the horses and the horse owners and the caretakers that put in all the hard work to keep their horses good to win those races.
Yep. So good luck in the limbs and hopefully the final. And like I said, teach these fillies to dead heat the win. Dead heat the win. I don't think Fashion Farms will be too upset about splitting the purse there, you know, across the board, right? If they dead heat, you know, because you have to give up. You combine it, and then you combine first and second, and then split it to 37%. So I don't think they'll be too upset.
No, I think that would be a real good day.
It would be one of the all-time historic great wins. So Jim Campbell, I'll let you get back to work, training and all that fun stuff. You got a busy week ahead of you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Ryan.